The mystery of the world's largest sailing ship disappearance. The Kobenhavn, a ship measuring 130 meters in length with masts nearly as tall as a 20-story building, vanished under mysterious circumstances in 1928 while on its voyage to Australia. This was the largest sailing ship in the world during that era, and to this day, the vessel remains undiscovered. The last known mention of the Kobenhavn was on December 21, 1928, while it was en route from Buenos Aires, Argentina, to Australia. Following its disappearance, extensive search efforts were conducted over a considerable period, but no results were obtained. This incident has become one of the greatest mysteries of the modern era, sparking numerous speculations about the ship's ultimate fate. The Kobenhavn was constructed in Scotland starting from 1913, but it wasn't completed until March 24, 1921. Known by the nickname, Dane Big, this largest sailing ship of its time measured 130 meters in length, had a capacity of nearly 4,000 tons, and featured 5 masts almost as tall as a 20-story building. The Kobenhavn had an auxiliary diesel engine and operated similarly to a wireless telegraph transmitter. Primarily used for training young cadets, the ship also had to find ways to offset costs by carrying cargo during its journeys. Baron Nils Jules Brockdorff supervised the ship's construction and became its first captain. From 1921 to 1928, the Kobenhavn successfully completed 9 voyages, reaching nearly all continents and completing 2 circumnavigations of the globe by sea. On September 21, 1928, the Kobenhavn set sail from Nørresundby in North Jutland, northern Denmark. The ship had 75 people on board, including Captain Hans Andersen, 26 crew members, and 45 cadets. The cargo included slate and cement, intended for port calls in Buenos Aires, then Melbourne, Australia, and finally transporting wheat back to Europe. Arriving in Buenos Aires on November 17, 1928, the Kobenhavn made a strong impression on the local population due to its size. The cargo was quickly unloaded, but the departure was delayed as they had not received the transport commission to Australia. Finally, on December 14, Captain Andersen ordered the ship to depart without cargo. The estimated duration of the journey was 45 days. On December 22, the Kobenhavn maintained contact with a Norwegian ship, the William Bloomer, near Tristan da Cunha Island, approximately 900 kilometers away. They reported that all is well. However, after that communication, the William Bloomer completely lost contact with the Kobenhavn, and its crew never reappeared. Due to the lengthy voyages to Australia and Captain Andersen's infrequent signaling habits, there was initially little concern about the Kobenhavn's disappearance. This changed when months went by without any news. In April 1929, the East Asiatic Company sent the motor ship Mexico to the Tristan da Cunha area. Local residents reported seeing a large ship with 5 masts, one of which was broken on January 21, 1929. Collaborating with the Royal Navy, they searched for the Kobenhavn for several months but found no traces. Eventually, the Danish government had to reluctantly declare that the Kobenhavn and its entire crew were lost at sea. In the years that followed, numerous theories were proposed, with one of the most widely accepted suggesting that the ship collided with an iceberg in darkness or fog. If so, the ship might have sunk rapidly, leaving the crew no time to react. Another group theorized that the absence of cargo made the ship vulnerable to capsizing in strong winds, rendering lifeboats useless. However, the ship's wreckage was never located. 2 years after the Kobenhavn's disappearance, reports of a mysterious ship resembling the Kobenhavn floating in the Pacific Ocean sparked debates. According to Chilean fishermen, in July 1930, crew members of an Argentine cargo ship sighted a ghost ship with 5 masts during a strong gale. A few weeks later, they encountered it again while sailing from the Resurrection Island area to the coast of Peru. On this journey, they found a piece of the ship's stern with the inscription, Kobenhavn. Evidence of the ship resurfaced in 1934 when the New York Times reported the discovery of a diary belonging to a cadet on the Kobenhavn inside a bottle on Bouvet Island in the South Atlantic. The diary detailed the ship's destruction by icebergs and abandonment, with the crew forced to take to lifeboats. In 1935, human skeletal remains and remnants of a lifeboat were found buried in sand along the southwest coast of Africa, presumed to be linked to the Kobenhavn. However, until today, these remain speculative, awaiting definitive answers from experts.